The Big E, and last I left off, I got the saucer on, and I went in and touched up all the base coat paint on there. Had to paint some of it in the cell where I missed the first time, and I had to touch up a few places where the paint was peeled off by the tape from the, I have no idea why, but it did, so I finished fixing that. I put the pole on so I could put it on my little base here, so I could spin it, and just easier to work on when you have a movable base, if you will. And I don't know if this is going to be hung. I don't know if it's going to be on a stand. So you got, two options, and this is just the way it's just going to be. One thing about the neck, I got it flush in there, but I don't know why there's a little bit of a seam. I don't know if it's the wires, a wire that hooked up somewhere. Everything works on it. I don't know why. So what I did is I went in with a little bit more glue, and I glued it again, make sure it was good and dry, and then I went back in with Mr. Tulip here, just to fill the seam on the neck. And I got to finish going out this way a little bit more. I got basically halfway to the back done. I got it on both sides, and I'm going to finish that probably today. Shoot that with a little more of the base color, and we'll be good to go. So anyway, the Big E is taking shape. I did get the shuttle bay doors in, and a little back plate, and I call it the observation little thingy there, and the dome on the back. And the dome I tinted with Tamiya clear green, and so we're pretty good on that. It's about the only two things on the model I didn't light was the back here and there. Really not a whole lot of room. I mean, you'd have to start doing nano LEDs, and you might be able to get it to work. But anyway, I think it's more trouble than it's worth to really light it all the way to the back here. A little paint, and it looks like the show, and that's all we are looking forward to do. But anyway, that's where I stand on the Big E. So hopefully we can start adding all the little pieces on today. But I want to do a quick update because my normal update time, if I don't do it now, I'm going to forget. And I'll show you all that in just a moment. The last stand Camaro, so I got basically a coat and a half on here now. So we're almost shiny. I got to do a little more on the top there to cover up the black. I may have to go in and mask off the top there with a, I think I may have to go with like a white just to cover up the black, and then shoot it with red, and I think that'll work. And for red, I've been using rattle can here. What color is it? Where's the little sticker? Cherry red, and it's really close to the one on the pictures. So once we get a little further along, we can start taking the tape off, and then we'll compare it to the pictures, because that's really close. But as you can see, I got I just been doing a section at a time, and then I'll do one good final coat on there, and we'll put some future on it, make it really shiny and a little bit durable. So anyway, the last stand Camaro is getting its paint. The Convair, I did put a little more tulip on. I do need to I need to primer it, and I'm going to try to primer it today, because I wanted to show this two things before I got a little further on. I took some liquid mask, and I dabbed the LED at the top of it, and then I'm going to shoot it with primer, and then I'm going to probably build up a little bit more of the bridge dome here, and then I'll be able to hopefully paint it by next weekend is what I'm planning. But anyway, I wanted to show that because I'm going to show the the masking and what I've done so far if I primer it, so I wanted to get that out of the way. But the other thing I want to show is the Mako here. One thing about the 1/350th bridge here, you get a clear bridge, but you don't get no bridge or anything. So if you can actually, I don't know if you can see it, we'll try to do it. I printed out a Sean Hargrave's sketch of the bridge, and it had a figure. I think it had Kirk standing there. I thought, well, that looks pretty cool. I just actually printed it down to a contact paper and cut it out and just whacked it and glued it on from the inside. So it gives like there's a little bit of a bridge, and there's actually a person in it. Hopefully you can see that. And it's just me gluing that in. No big deal, and it needed something because it just, you could have it bright white in there, but I wanted a little bit of a bridge, wanted something, a little picture. I thought it looked pretty darn slick. Anyway, it's just one of them little things that you don't really notice till you get, up on it. And if I can do it here, one hand, come on. Oh, why are you not working? Oh, that always scares me to death. It hooked up to the battery. There we go. I got the nav lights on, got the red, green, and went ahead and got some lights on the inside there. And of course, we'll do some a little bit of light blocking. I like the rawness of the plastic when I light block. I like the light block on the outside. I don't care for the inside. I think it gives it a little more shine. You can see the way the window's lit. You know, some are brighter, some are dimmer. That's the way it would be, like in ships or anything. Because I think it looks more realistic. Plus, you ain't seen the this is shining through the mask that I used to mask the windows, so it's gonna be a little dull and not quite as dark. But anyway, I wanted to show that before I get a little too farther along. Also, the what is it called? The bomarc. I did start on that. I did get the fuselage together, and it's an old model, I'll tell you that right now. And I got two little engines working, which they got a little bit of flash on there. It's no big deal. I'll get that cleaned up, but I got to sand it to a point. If you can tell, this has got raised rivets all the way down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably sand just a little bit, and I'm gonna use Mr. Hobby Knife, and I'm actually going to go and basically trim just a little bit, and then for any seams, I am going to saturate it with liquid cement, and that should burnish it down. And once you get some primer on there, it should look very good. But anyway, I did start that today. I'm going to do a little bit more on it, probably either today or tomorrow, and then we'll just continue on with the assembly line here at BHP HQ. So that's what I got going on today. We are starting the bomarc. The Mako is getting its bridge and its lights, and we're doing a little tinting as we speak. The Big E is getting its assembly and paint, and the Last Stand Camaro getting its red paint job. So that's what I got going on today, so stay tuned for the next exciting episode.